The following podcast has been rated PGN. Parental guidance is neglected.
Boy, it's been a long time since we've had a little father-son chat.
I am your father.
Father, if you can hear me, I failed.
Don't let your mother smell that beer on your breath. She'll take it out on me.
I'm here with my dad.
I know what you're gonna say, son. And you're right. You're right.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
I've abandoned my boy!
You are currently listening to the Parental Guidance Neglected podcast. I am Regan Burns, and this is my elephant, Jackson Burns, who just surprised me. I didn't know I didn't get the memo. I didn't know we were doing costumes today.
Listen, there was no memo. I just got back from the pool and I was like, do I want to put on new clothes or can I just put on this elephant onesie and make an excuse to wear it as a costume? So that's what I'm also gonna take this hood off because now that it's been established I'm an elephant. It's really uncomfortable. So
and yeah, I could see you're having a pretty bad hair day. So
I was at the pool. I'm sorry.
Probably a good call on that one.
It's tough.
As we are recording this, it is Halloween weekend. We are in the middle of it.
It'll be Halloween when the day this comes out.
Yeah, so it's a happy Halloween, everybody. This is Halloween Eve, our recording. How is your Halloween weekend going so far, buddy?
Good. A lot of fun so far.
Is your school just off the charts crazy? Like everyone's running around as slutty college professors and guys are dressed up in thongs, and is it just a big holiday bonanza, or is it pretty low key or somewhere in the middle?
No, it's been a lot of costumes. A lot of costumes. Most people are wearing costumes, so.
What is the most original costume you've seen so far this year on campus, and what is the most overdone? Like if I see one more Austin Powers or one more Trump or whatever.
There was a lot of Teen Titans costumes this year for some reason.
That's cool. I don't know what that is. What is a Teen Titan?
It's like it was a comic book. It's a TV show.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
It's like a DC Comics thing. Like Robin and all them when they were teenagers.
Oh, okay. So mini versions of superheroes.
Yeah. There was a lot of that. That was kind of getting old.
Yeah.
Most original.
Has there been anyone like I'm a can of tuna and look at me, I'm a
I don't know. It's been I'm trying to think. A lot of the ones that are original are just stuff where it's like all right, that's unique to you, but I also don't get the reference. Like, oh, you're someone from New Girl, or like
right. You're like,
well, I'm like, all right, let's do something that's important to you, or like that you wanted to be and have fun in. So
I
will say my costume for last night was pretty good though.
Was
I
had
a 2-in-1.
How do you do a 2-in-1? You're half and
Here's
half.
How you do
painted
2-in-1.
Your face half one thing and one the other.
I wore a black turtleneck and jeans. And the black turtleneck was tucked in.
Let me guess who
and
you are.
I had glasses on. Okay.
You had a black turtleneck tucked into jeans and you had glasses on. You were a beat poet.
I was Steve Jobs. That was the first thing.
Right. Okay.
But if I took off the glasses and I pulled my necklace out like this,
yes,
then I looked like that really old picture of The Rock where he's wearing, you know what I'm talking about, where he's wearing the turtleneck and the jeans and he's coming us the stairs. So it was a 2-in-1. And I could just swap through the night.
And literally, having just walked out of a screening of Black Adam, let me say you have the exact same body type as him.
Oh, I know. That's why it was so perfect. That's why it was so perfect.
I bet people.
You know what? I actually get that a lot. People, I go, oh, man, I'm sorry. I thought you were Dwayne The Rock Johnson for a second. And I go, I know.
People were doing double takes.
Yeah, right. They were.
Are you going out tonight? And are you going out on Halloween?
Tonight, one of my close friends is doing a little something at his dorm, so I'll probably show up there for a little bit.
Gotcha.
Tomorrow, not so much. I think I'm staying in. Just watching a movie with my girlfriend.
Gotcha. Do you have classes on Halloween, or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you think that your professors, are they the kind of people who are going to dress up tomorrow? I remember in high school, your teachers would show up and like, oh, he's got his Batman.
I'm trying to think of. Let me check to see what classes I have tomorrow. Just it'll depend on the teacher.
Is college too cool for that? Or professors like, we do not have time for these shenanigans?
So on Monday, I have English and directing. My directing teacher definitely won't.
Okay.
He's also foreign. I don't even know if they celebrate Halloween in Iran. So
I don't know.
I don't know about that. My English teacher, maybe she's the type to like just put on cat ears and call it a day.
Yeah.
I could see that. So
never know, though. I wasn't gonna
pleasantly surprised.
We are a father-son movie podcast. I wasn't going to bring this up, but you just mentioned, I don't know if they celebrate Halloween in other countries. But the big news this weekend was all the people who were killed in South Korea at the big Halloween festival. Did you see the news about that?
No, I haven't. This is my first time hearing about this.
Oh my goodness. 150 people so far dead after a Halloween nightlife club gathering in downtown. What's the capital of South Korea? Is it
Seoul?
Seoul, yeah, Seoul from the peanut gallery over here. There was just apparently just so many people that there was trampling and tons of people had cardiac arrest.
Horrible. That's horrible.
I guess it was like the very first outdoor big event since South Korea opened back up from the pandemic.
That's terrible.
Why is stuff popping up on my screen? Is any of that going to show? I got an ad.
As long as it's not covering our faces, you're fine. Just don't move the mouse around. Oh.
Okay. Well, one of them is from Discord, and it's popped up right in front of your face, and it's not going away. I have to say. Okay. Maybe later or try it out. So maybe we'll edit this out.
Right. Yeah, just hit maybe later.
I'm going to hit maybe later, and now we're back to where we were. So maybe cool. I don't know. Again, we have a crack team.
This is a homegrown podcast.
No, there's about 50 people that work on this podcast, but
yeah.
No, I just what I thought about you when I saw that. I'm like, you like to go
that's
out.
Horrible.
You go out to these concerts where everyone's crammed in sometimes, and I get a little nervous about that.
That's different though, because I do go to concerts where it's like general admission type pits, but it's always smaller artists, and it's always very community driven artists as well, where it's like everyone's looking out for each other. There's been a couple times where I've gotten like close to falling, and every time it's like everyone just stops, and it's like, all right, get them up, and we're good to go. Okay. Yeah, no, the only news I heard of this weekend was the Nancy Pelosi's husband getting the shit beaten out of him in his own house.
Yeah, where's Nancy and going at him with a hammer? So yeah. I wonder how long before we get that made for TV movie. The Paul Pelosi story.
No, I know. The Paul Pelosi story.
I hammered the Paul Pelosi story.
That's good. That's a good bet.
He's going to survive. It's not too soon.
He'll be fine, and I'm pretty sure he's a multimillionaire, so he'll be fine.
It's absolutely horrific that happened, but Jackson and I will be discussing that on our other father-son podcast, Politics Ahoy, where father and son debate.
Politics Ahoy.
Politics Ahoy. That's what I'm calling it.
That's good. We'll call it. I'm trying to think of something related.
Come on, Mr. Improv. Come on.
We'll call it.
The game is it's a political.
I'm trying to think of like a name that has to do with like the awkward Thanksgiving Day conversations with your extended family.
Know?
It's just like the classic bit of like, oh no, someone's gonna say something.
Yeah, it's we run a little blue, but it's safe to say there's a lot of deep red in our family line along the way. So Thanksgivings are always fun. So fun. But no, we are a movie podcast mainly. That and obviously keeping up on Jackson's social life every weekend. First off, our apologies. Hey guys, we were off last week. Jackson was busy working on sets with a lot of his buddies for projects at school. I actually didn't get to see too many films either because I was busy calling Jackson and asking if he needed any help on those sets, and then he didn't respond. So we, our apologies to you guys. We did have a week off, which you would think we would come back with a smorgasbord of films. We just have not.
I didn't have time to see anything new, to be honest.
Yeah.
I saw Border, and I do have 2 Jackson art house films to talk about. But
yeah, we're gonna get to your pretentious art house.
I have been every week. I go and I check AMC to see, try to find a screening of Banshees that isn't all the way in Century City. and I just can't. I think just now one opened up closer to me, like 7 miles away.
Yeah.
So I might go see that this week, but it's been tough. I'm like, geez, it's not playing anywhere.
Jackson, he's not in as metropolitan an area as I am. Also, I've got a ton of screenings since it's award season, and I've invited Jackson to all, but he's a very busy boy. Here's what you do need to know. We're going to eventually see everything before award season. If nothing else, he'll be home on breaks.
You get the screeners, and I'll be going through them for sure.
Yeah, we're going to catch up on everything, and we got some more stuff to talk about. But since you bring it up, we might as well go ahead and talk about our audience pick. That's the one we both saw, and then I'll touch base on Banshees and a couple other things that I saw. Every month, we look to you guys for a recommendation of a classic film, or it doesn't have to be a classic. It could be one of those films that was maybe critically acclaimed but never resonated with audiences or fell under the radar, and you highly, highly recommend us seeing. I will let you guys know, excellent suggestions. Our lists are so deep right now. I have enough suggestions for probably
a good problem to have.
Yeah, another 25 episodes. And I also thank everyone who's been sending in suggestions for horrible films. And wait till you find out what we're seeing next week.
Oh, no.
But this week, our suggestion came from our listener, Phil. Phil, is it Buckbold? Oh, my goodness. I have to look that up. Where was it?
I was gonna say I wasn't.
Yeah, Phil. I'll look up your name before the end of this and make sure I have your name correct. He recommended a 2018 film. We had just seen The Triangle of Sadness, which is I think arguably one of our favorite movies of the year.
Yeah.
The week before, it's being released wider, and there's Oscar buzz on it. But it got me thinking, what would be a good film to pick from your guys' list? And he just so happened to recommend another Swedish film that got a lot of critical praise back in 2018. The name of the film is Border. It's based on a short story called Grans, which means border in Swedish. The book, Grans, or the short story, was written by John Ajvide Lindqvist, whose most popular
languages are
who
crazy.
knows? I'm sure I just tore that one a new one.
Sometimes I was watching the movie and they would say a sentence and I would look at the subtitles and I'll go, "There's no way that's what the hell that guy just said."
Yeah, I often wonder.
Doesn't even sound close to what I would think that would be.
I like when you're watching like a foreign film. And I'm just speaking gibberish here before you say I'm being insulting to any country here. But it's like the actor will literally go, and then the bottom of the screen it says, "No problem." And you're like, "There's no." You're like,
"How was that what he said?"
He had to have said more than that.
Yeah.
How did it take that long to say "no problem"? But yet that does happen. Anyways, the author Lindqvist also wrote the very popular cult favorite "Let the Right One In," which was turned into a very popular vampire movie. It was turned into a play on Broadway. It's a TV series, so that's where you would have heard from him before. This is a very, very interesting film. It is
if anything you can say about it, it's definitely unique.
It is definitely unique. It is. I would safely say it is one of the most unique films I have ever seen. Part thriller, part love story, part fable, maybe. Border tells the tale of two strangers. One, a border security guard who has a unique talent of smelling other people's emotions. It's very obvious from the makeup at the beginning of the show that she is been told that she is has what a lot of people call a kind of a nomad syndrome, some kind of deficiency or something in your chromosomes.
Yeah, so it's a chromosomal disorder.
Chromosomal disorder that makes you have a bit of a Neanderthal look. And then one day, in the middle of her job, someone with the same quote-unquote affliction comes into her life. Without getting too deep into it, things go in a completely different direction. Jackson, thoughts on the Swedish film from 2018, our audience recommendation this week, Border?
First of all, my girlfriend will never forgive you for recommending that we watch that movie together because she was the whole time like, "What the hell are we watching right now?" That was evil of you. So, Border...
Whoa. Why was she mad at me?
Because Because when me and my girlfriend went to have dinner at my house this past week.
Yes, we saw it.
And
saw
you said she should watch it with me.
I did. But now that you've seen it, I thought, here's the thing. I watched it with your mother. Okay? The majority of it with your mother. And we both, I think, very much needed that person who during the film we could turn to and look at and go, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, there was a lot of that. That is a good point,
when you're watching it by yourself, I watched the last bit of it by myself, and there was literally like there's somebody you want to share this with. Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
Is this really happening? Is this what the hell is going on here? So that was the only reason.
Just to give you some context, because the day before it was her turn to pick a movie, and we watched 50 First Dates.
Right.
And then the next day, we sat down and watched Border. But Border grabbed me right from the start. I was like, this is a really great concept. I thought the concept, because I went in blind. You went in having seen the trailer, so I think you had a little bit more information about it going in.
I had a little more idea of where it could possibly be going.
I had no clue. And so I thought right off the bat, the idea of someone that can smell emotions is a really great concept.
Yeah.
But it kind of took a turn that I wasn't expecting.
It took a turn nobody was expecting.
Yeah, no one was expecting.
It took some two or three turns.
The longer the movie went on, I think the more it lost me, and the more complex the concepts got, the more I felt like I wish it was more simple in that way. I think a movie just about someone who could smell emotions would be a really great idea. And it kind of, I mean, there was kind of like the subplot with her working with the police that did kind of deal with that. But for the most part, I thought that the main plot really didn't utilize that concept at all.
She's a border patrol because she literally, like, for an example, if someone is smuggling drugs across the border, she could smell the tension in them, or the guilt, or the shame, or the fear of getting caught. Like she could actually smell that, which is never really explained. It's just, and then
it's part of and then we get the reveal with her, being a troll.
Yeah.
One of the weirdest sex scenes I've ever seen in my life.
The crazy, I think, easy to say. I have that written down too as well. The craziest sex scene I have ever seen. And there's no way you saw that coming, right?
No.
What, I mean, apparently in this world, it's Phil Buckbinder, by the way. I just found it. Phil Buckbinder.
Oh, gotcha.
I apologize. I knew it was, I keep saying Buck Showalter. I don't know why that, but Phil Buckbinder. This movie was very much loved by the critics. And I think I might have mentioned last week that when I was researching it, I literally saw a clip from, I think, Conan. He was interviewing Aubrey Plaza, and she was like, I just saw the best film of the year. Like, she just could not shut up about it.
It just, it had me, and then I got dropped. And I really, Vore, that's how you say it. Vore, his character.
Yeah, Tina is the
really,
girl. Vore is the stranger.
Yeah, Vore, I liked his character at first, and I don't think that the twist necessarily made, like the twist for his character at least, I felt like that kind of came out of left field.
Yeah.
And left me just wondering, like, why though? Like, it just seemed like his reasoning was unsound, but not in like the I'm crazy way, more even like, for the movie, like it's kind of creepy type of way.
There's three big reveals. The big reveal is who these two actually are, Tina and Vore, these chromosome deficient or anomaly people. There's a huge twist in how they have sex, and there's a huge twist in both Tina's past and what Vore is up to. He could be could or could not be involved with some criminal activity involving, let's say, children and embryos. Again, it's weird. It's a movie that's it's 4 or 5 years old now, but for people who may want to check this out, I feel bad just saying the T word or just yelling it out. But for those who have seen it, you know what we're talking about. This is a strange, crazy film. I can see why some I can see why some would really glam onto it as a great film. I thought it was a very good film.
I really wasn't that big of a fan. To be honest, I really struggled with trying to understand what was trying to be said.
Yeah.
With the movie, I couldn't really, and I'm sure there was because every movie has subtext, and I'm sure that this one does have some really great deep-rooted subtext, but I personally couldn't find it without doing a Google search.
It's funny that you bring that up because I remember I go, why is this movie called Border? And I, like you, did some Google research and looked up like the meaning of it, and I actually read like, oh, this is what he's saying, and this is why it's called Border. And I read it, and I still didn't get why it was called Border.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. And what did you think about the ending?
I don't mind an open ending, something open ended. I didn't mind it. There's hope for our protagonist, and I think I kind of saw it coming a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think it was like the end. If there's the earlier twists are huge. At the end, I mean,
it was a little more predictable.
A little more predictable.
Yeah.
Do you think she goes to Finland?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. That's one of those questions that everyone's going like, we don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why.
No, exactly.
I just wanted yes or no. Do you think she goes to Finland?
I'm gonna go with no.
I don't think so either.
I think that's where she wants to be.
I don't think so. Listen, after a glut of movies that do nothing creatively for me, I always like for someone who swings for the fence, even if they don't knock it out of the park. I give big points to originality.
True.
I'm curious how in-depth the short story is. I agree with you. I'm not sure if I get the message of it all, but when you have me going, I have definitely not seen this before. And I actually think, as crazy as they are, the performances are actually...
We're really great. Yeah,
really,
especially,
really good.
I was really impressed with how well they could each show emotion in that much makeup.
Yeah.
Because that's what's so difficult to do. And I even looked up what they looked like, just indistinguishable from their actual faces, which is just wild.
They're both very attractive people. I love her little lip quiver, like her little...
I know.
When she's smelling, she's like... it's
so.
You did it better than me. So again, I think Phil. I think it was an excellent choice. I don't think I love the film, but I give it massive kudos for originality. I give it a very solid B. Jackson.
I think I was a little bit more iffy on this than you were. Definitely points for creativity and all that, but overall, I'm really down the middle on this. I don't think I disliked it. I don't think I really liked it either.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go right down the middle with a 5 out of 10.
What would your girlfriend have got?
She gave it a 4.
A 4. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you see that's why I wanted you, because there's a great gangster film. So that's a movie you got to watch with somebody. I think. I mean, it helps if you watch with someone because
I agree.
You want to share that moment of like, this is out of control, crazy.
During the one sex reveal was kind of just like I think we both did like a what is happening?
Yeah, or maybe I just wanted that really uncomfortable moment between you and your girlfriend.
Yeah. Either way,
I was just picturing the two of you having to watch that together, like a parent watching a sex scene with their parents for the first time. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, and I think it was nominated for Best Makeup. I don't think it won, but I believe it was nominated the year it came out. Again, that is our audience pick. We will be back next month with a great classic film from you guys as well, and a horrible one. Oh, man, wait till you see what they're punishing us with, Jackson.
Oh, jeez. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah. Should I just reveal it right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
So I have a ton of horrible films to go through, but one of the ones on the list popped out at me, and I don't want to. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't reveal.
Oh no! Wait, what?
Well, you know what? Let's say
just because I want to look it up. Vice won Best Makeup for 2018.
Vice did. Oh, all the Dick Cheney makeup on Bale. Okay, let's just say I picked this film for a particular reason. It seemed to resonate this week. The suggestion, and we had a lot of them from a lot of people, but this one comes from Danny Sobelman, who, Jackson, you actually know. She was on my show, Dog with the Blog. She played the character Max. Well, she was one of, she played one of G's best friends on there. Sure. She was hilarious, very talented girl. I think she's studying in New York right now, or last I heard she was. But she sent a few suggestions over. I think we have all seen the clip online of the scene from this movie where the man is watching in horror as the girl.
Don't say it. Can I guess? Guess?
Yes.
They're eating her.
Yes.
And then they're gonna eat
and
me.
Then they're gonna eat me.
Oh my god.
We are going to skip the first installation and go right to Troll 2. Troll 2 next week.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, so
awesome.
we've all seen the clip, but I don't think I know I certainly have not sat through any Troll movie. And by the way, this is not the animated Trolls, plural.
This is definitely not that.
Yeah, this is, I believe, from 1990, and the tagline for Troll 2 was Troll 2, 1 was not enough.
So I actually know a little bit about this movie.
Oh, okay. What do you know?
It's actually not awful that we haven't seen the first one, because originally it was a movie called Goblins, and then the studio wanted it to make more money, so they said, you know what? Goblins are close enough to Trolls. Let's just call it Troll 2 and throw it out there. So this is technically a standalone, as it was being in production, until afterwards they decided to rename it.
All right, well, there you have it, Troll 2. So we don't even have to see Troll the original. So thanks to Danny, Jackson and I are going to find some very valuable time over the next 6 or 7 days.
I'm actually excited for this now.
To sit down and watch Troll 2. And for those out there who know anything about movies, I think you know why I picked Troll 2 this week.
Yeah.
Yep. It just kind of screamed at me. It's the PGN podcast, Parental Guidance Neglected. My son Jackson Burns and myself talking movies every week. I am a film buff and have done maybe one or two really bad films. Jackson is a film student, and one day hopefully make one or two really good films. Starring his dad.
Fingers crossed.
With that said, we sometimes disagree on these the most. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Jackson's pretentious art film corner. Jackson, I know what?
I feel like we might agree here.
Oh, okay. So what did you see this week that I may or may not have?
So the first movie, I really only have one art house movie, and then I can talk about 50 First Dates, because that's like whatever. But
is 50 First Dates Adam Sandler?
Yes,
and I did see that. Yes, I did.
So the first movie is a documentary that is produced by Francis Ford Coppola, directed by Godfrey Reggio, and it is Koyaanisqatsi.
Yes.
Score by Philip Glass, which was, in my opinion, the best part of the movie.
We just watched something recently that Philip Glass did the score for.
Mishima. He did the Mishima score.
Yes.
So, I liked this. What
is it about, Jackson, for audiences who are not familiar with this?
So it's a documentary. It's non-dialogue. It's basically just a series of shots that go from like it tries to depict the effects of modernity on the Earth, I guess. So it starts out more with like relaxing nature shots and these sweeping, beautiful fields and stuff. And then as the movie goes on, it kind of gets crazier and crazier. And then we see clips of like, you know, the cities and factories and shopping malls and traffic and war. And, you know, it's... I saw a review that said a movie like this had to be made at some point and would have been made at some point.
But nobody wants to see it.
It was kind of... this could have been a really good 15-minute short. But a 90-minute long non-dialogue documentary was even a lot for me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with a 6 out of 10. I'm gonna go with a 6 out of 10 on this.
I never saw it. I just remember it in the video stores when I worked back in the day, and I remember the only people who ever came in to rent it were exactly the people that you think you would look at me and go, "Yeah, you're the guy I would expect."
And you're gonna go watch Koyaanisqatsi.
Yeah.
And apparently there's 2 sequels. There's this guy made 2 more. There's Pawakatsi and Nakoyatsuki. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
So
but
are you going to finish the trilogy? Are you going to go watch? No, you're done. You're done with it.
No, I'm done.
Was this an assignment for you to watch, or was this a voluntary?
No, I have a friend that's also named Jackson, and this is one of his favorite movies. We do agree. Me and Jackson agree on a lot of movies, but we also disagree on a lot of stuff. And he was like, "Hey, if you want, I'll let you borrow my Criterion." He has a Criterion box set for all 3 of the movies, the Kotze trilogy.
Right.
And
I
accidentally spilled water on them. I feel so bad about it.
Oh, jeez. You spilled water on his Criterion collection?
No. It only got on the Notebook just a little bit. And I already talked to him about it, and we're cool. But this is what happened. Pretend this is like a glass.
Uh-huh.
I'm in my seat. I go to sit down. The glass breaks in my hand in 2 pieces. Into 2 perfect pieces. Just breaks in my hand.
Wait, was it glass or a plastic glass?
It's a glass.
Oh, jeez. You're not cutting anything,
it was weird.
are you?
No, it just like...
Are you and you and Jackson are cool? You guys are still friends?
Yeah, no, he didn't care. They were already kind of beat up anyways. And the discs didn't get touched.
Did he beat you up for not liking the film? Was he like, "What is wrong with you?"
He did.
It is 18 of the best hours of non-dialogue shots.
No, but he did one of those. No, it's okay, because you'll change your mind eventually.
Really?
And I was like,
Really?
If you say so, man. He's like, you'll keep thinking about it, and I haven't.
Nope,
No.
haven't.
I've been listening to the music though. Music's really good, but I haven't
Okay.
been. I've been only thinking about the music in the terms that the music's good, not in the terms that the movie was.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie with no dialogue in it. In fact, that's probably the only movie with no dialogue in it. I wonder if there is
right now.
Oh, wait a minute, a silent film, I guess.
Well, yeah, a
would be.
silent film. I was
But
gonna say
technically,
that doesn't count. Doesn't count.
No, because they get the
They had the little
boards.
dialogue boards. I'm trying to think if
Yeah.
there's anything that I can think of that's so.
Tree of Life doesn't have a hell of a lot of dialogue in it.
No, but there is dialogue in that, but not.
Yeah,
You're right.
Not nearly enough.
Just a lot of whispering. That's
right.
hard to make out.
All right, so what was the other one?
And the 50 First Dates was the other one.
That's not really. You had to sit through an Adam Sandler movie with Drew Barrymore because of your girlfriend.
Look,
Here's what I remember about that. I remember that Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore had a huge hit with a movie called The Wedding Singer. And they were kind of cute in it, and it was okay. But it made a ton of money. So then the studios were like, we've got to get them back together in something. And they kind of threw together this one, and they were in Hawaii or something, and it had to do with amnesia, and it felt really forced.
The plot, first of all, the first major plot hole is that Adam Sandler plays a playboy who sleeps around a lot.
Yeah, right there. Yeah,
right there, we're already hitting the wall.
Yeah,
that's not happening.
Oh, I'm Adam Sandler, and I'm gonna get to bed. You're gonna get to bed with me. That's a horrible Adam Sandler.
Yeah. So
you know how I feel about Adam Sandler,
and I very much so agree. But here's the thing: as much as I think Adam Sandler is unfunny, Rob Schneider is
really bad. Yeah,
really bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he plays like
isn't
this.
he a Mexican?
No, he plays a Pacific Islander.
Oh yeah.
He plays a Hawaiian native, but it's like super, not great, and he just like hates his wife, and just like but it just plays off so bad. The plot of the movie is that Adam Sandler's this playboy, and he doesn't want to settle down because he wants to take this big boat trip to Alaska. He's saving up money for it. He works at an aquarium. He's like a veterinarian.
Yeah.
But he meets this girl named Lucy, and he finds out through the course of the movie that she has this traumatic brain injury that causes her to lose her short-term memory every night she goes to sleep. Mm-hmm. So she basically, in her mind, it's always the day of the accident. It's always October 13th, I think it was. And so it's just like, oh, like her family does the same things she does the same thing every day because she always thinks it's the same day. Yeah.
But your girlfriend loves it because she made you watch it.
Yeah. Yep.
So which means this was multiple viewings for her. Now, as you're watching it with her, is she just smiling the whole time? Or is she like looking over at you like, what is wrong with you? Isn't that the funniest thing?
She knew I wasn't going to like it. She knew for a fact. She knew. Because here's the thing. There are some rom-coms that I think I might like that I've just sort of heard about where I'm like, oh, you know what, that might be cute. Or like, whatever. Right. But Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore in a comedic rom-com, like a really comedy rom-com, it's just not happening.
Yeah.
It's just not happening at all. That's going to be a 3 out of 10 for me.
3 out of 10. Wow, that sounds generous. That seems generous for you. Almost.
I know. I might change that to a 2, to be honest.
Right.
That's
you want to make it official? You want to lock it in? Let's lock it in.
Yeah, I'm locking in that 2
We're
right
locking
now.
in on the 2.
We're locking in the 2.
I'm going to text her right now. And say
yeah, let her know.
You're 3 into a 2. Wow, so that's Jackson's Pretentious Art House Corner, which actually had an Adam Sandler film in it.
Yeah.
Now, you are a fan of Adam Sandler when he's like, you like Punch Drunk Love.
He is fantastic in Punch Drunk Love. I love that movie.
And you love Gems.
And in Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah, he is fantastic in both those roles because he's acting like a person.
But I'm still not in love with him. I will say that he's better in things like Spanglish and Punch Drunk Love, but I'm still not even Uncut Gems. I know people love that film.
Love Uncut Gems. I cannot wait to see what those two do next, man.
Yeah, I was not 100% sold.
Did you see? Did you see Good Time?
Is that the Robert Pattinson one?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same director. It's the same. It's the Safdie brothers again, though.
No,
Uncut Gems. You know what? I think you would like that a lot.
Well, I like Pattinson.
I feel like you might. It's really good. It's really fun, like actiony. Yeah. It's in like Uncut Gems in the way that like you're always on the edge of your seat. But it's really a good movie.
You know, I was for some reason we're going to talk Oscars here in a little bit because it's starting to heat up. But I was looking at like some of the films. Doesn't it seem like the Batman was out 4 years ago? That was this year.
Yeah, that was this year.
I know. I've already.
Isn't that crazy? I gotta watch that again. I think.
I feel like I did too. In fact, I saw they're actually doing a few screenings of it. They're doing a screening of it in IMAX, and I'm wondering if it's even worth seeing in IMAX. I don't often like films that are shot, but then they, I don't know what the word is. You can help me. They transfer them.
Convert
over
it,
to IMAX,
I guess. Yeah.
Convert it to IMAX, but. Yeah, I got a couple emails about, come in because they're trying to get, I'm sure, I don't think they're going
Build
for best
hype,
movie, but they're probably trying to get some,
cinematography for sure.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And I thought, man, do I want to go see that again? I mean, I know I really liked it, but I don't know. It's on my maybe not list. Jackson has been a very, very busy student this week on sets and working and learning and hopefully spending my money wisely. So I did go out and see a couple of films. I don't know if I want to go into a huge review of The Banshees of Inisherin. Probably one of the big front runners for Oscars this year. Yeah. I did see it, and I saw a Q&A with the director Martin Donahue afterwards.
Was he good to talk? Like, how was his talk?
He was good. The moderator was not fantastic. I wasn't crazy about the questions he had, but Martin made a lot of good jokes. And
does he have a thick Irish accent?
No, not at all.
Really?
Nope.
That's surprising to me.
In fact, I don't even remember him having an accent. He must have. Maybe he had a little bit of one, but no. I'll have to ask your mother about that. He, of course, did 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and one of my favorite films of all time.
It's fantastic.
It's
Bruges. Fantastic.
In Bruges is fantastic.
You can't go up the stairs.
Look,
you can't go up there.
You can't go up there.
It's too small.
So my excitement to see this film that had the same writer-director, the 2 lead actors, the same, Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, and Carrie Condon, who's always fantastic. And
Barry Keoghan, who I'm a big fan of.
Barry Keoghan is on his way to at least a supporting actor nomination for this film.
He's really great. He deserves it. He's fantastic.
He's probably the front runner. I also can tell you that I can almost guarantee you Colin Farrell is a lock for a nomination. Brendan Gleeson probably as well, and probably Carrie Condon. Probably all. I would be shocked if any of the 4 do not get a nomination. Did I? And this, I'm not going to go into it completely. Is it a film that I loved as much as In Bruges, which, like I said, is one of probably in my top 10 films of all time? No, that's a big steeple to climb.
Of course.
But this is a really good film.
Oh, thank God! I'm so excited.
It's a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be. It was also a lot more moving. There is a scene, Jackson. When you see this, and I won't have to, you'll know it. When Barry Keoghan has a scene with Carrie Condon, as she plays Colin Farrell's sister in this, and Barry Keoghan is kind of the the town idiot, if you will. He obviously.
Oh, okay, yeah.
At that point in time and era, they would call it the town idiot. Nowadays, we're smart enough to know that he suffers from Asperger's or.
Right.
He's very much on the spectrum. Yeah. On the spectrum. And Martin McDonough, I think it actually is. Hope I'm not bastardizing that one too. There is a scene that they have on the lake that is just going to crush your soul. It's some of the best acting I've seen in quite some time, especially from him. It is an unpredictable movie at some points. It takes a couple turns. You didn't think they were going to go there, and they did.
Okay, yeah.
But listen, it's not an action-packed movie. It all takes place on this little island off the coast of the mainland of Ireland, back during a time when there was civil unrest on the mainland in Dublin. But Banshees of Inisherin is well on its way to several Academy Awards. I can't wait to discuss it with you.
You think Best Picture? You think it'll get nominated for Best Picture?
Absolutely, 100%. It gets a very, very strong A from me.
Wow. Okay.
Remember, A+ is a classic. A is right there.
So,
really,
and
really
how was the audience reaction to the movie? Did they seem to be enjoying it? Were they laughing at the jokes?
Very much so. I was in a packed house at the Directors Guild, so it was a lot of people who were in the film business, which is not always the best indicator.
No, it's not.
Listen, I think there's a lot of people who will go see this movie and go, it was too slow, or it's just a bunch of people in a pub. Most of the movie takes place in a pub. Either a pub, walking to a pub, or walking from a pub. It's just a lot of Irish countryside. There's not a lot of locations here. But Banshees is, look, Jackson and I are going to have a tough time in January when we put together our top 10 list of the year. I can guarantee you Banshees will be up there for me. And I cannot wait until you see it. And if you don't,
I'm going to try to see it this week. I just now that it's opening in a theater, it's closer to Surgery City. I'm probably going to find time for it this week because I really want to see that.
Try to go when there's a lot of people in there. I think, like with any comedy, I think when you can share in the laughter with someone else, it's a lot easier than sitting in a theater by yourself going, "That's hilarious." I did also today see. I broke down just because I felt bad that we hadn't gone to any big films lately. I've missed so many, and forced myself.
I was shocked to get this text.
Yeah, I went and saw Black Adam today. That's the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson superhero movie from DC.
Well, don't say too much because I'm dying to see this movie.
Jackson, I could almost guarantee you have seen this movie already. Directed by Jamie Collet-Serra, who did Jungle Cruise, and he did like 4 or 5 of those Liam Neeson movies where he's, chase someone down and get him on a train or a plane or whatever. It tells the story of a DC hero I was never aware of. Comic nerds listening, I don't know the worlds. So apparently Black Adam has a lot to do with Shazam. Black Adam turns...
that's a red flag for me because I hated that movie.
He has the same lightning bolt on his chest. Black Adam turns into Black Adam by saying Shazam. Jamin Hansu, who I saw in the trailer is like an old wizard for Shazam sequel before this movie, is in this film. Okay. Where do I start? Okay, so Jackson, in Marvel, is there an African American superhero who has wings and flies?
Yeah.
What's he called?
It's the Falcon.
In this one, he's called Hawkeye. Jackson, in Marvel, is there a regular size kind of funny, nerdy dude who can suddenly become huge and change his size?
Yeah.
Who's that?
That's the Hulk.
No. Like he gets bigger.
Ant-Man. Ant-Man. Yeah.
Ant-Man. In this movie, he's called Atom. Atom. In the X-Men movies, is there an African-American girl who can control the weather?
Yeah.
That's Storm, Halle Berry.
Storm, yeah.
This one, she's called Cyclone. Okay? And then in X-Men, is there like an older dude who can kind of see into the future and has mind control? Isn't that Professor X?
Professor X.
Okay, well, that's Pierce Brosnan in this one. I don't even remember what his
Pierce Brosnan is in this?
Oh yeah, he's the Professor X. And then Black Adam.
Let me look at the cast on this real quick.
Black Adam is pretty much the Thor and Hulk combined. I mean, he's just a big. He's just big old. He smashes through walls and he says stupid, funny short sentences. And what is the material in the Marvel world that like Wolverine's
adamantium?
Adamantium. Right? It's electrium. Yeah. In this one, it's electrium. There's something being mined called, I think it's electrium, that has powers and has some kind of something. Jackson,
Uncle David's probably watching this, pulling his hair out because we're getting stuff wrong.
It is the same flippin' film. They're doing the same thing on both.
Yeah.
I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. I get that these are all based on comics, but there is nothing new and original here.
Here's what DC needs to figure out. Because with Marvel, when I go into a Marvel movie, I kind of go in knowing what to expect, right? They've kind of, say what you will about the movies, they have kind of, in a way, mastered that copy-paste, kind of fun, but like tugging at your heartstrings a little bit, formula that they've kind of collected. With DC, it's a shot in the dark every time, because they'll come around with a movie like The Batman, right, or like The Dark Knight Rises.
I don't put that in this category.
Right, but you have to remember, it's the same source material. So I'm like, they need to get their shit together and figure out, look, do we want to do this? Do we want to like differentiate ourselves from Marvel? Or do we want to just do this Black Adam Shazam bullshit that's just like being marketed to the same audience? It's like, no. Right. There's a reason why The Batman was such a big hit. It was awesome. Everyone was talking about it for so long. No one's going to be talking about Black Adam. Nobody.
It's doing really, really well.
But no one's going to be talking about it, is my thing. Like, it might make money, but it's not like the Batman was.
Yeah, it doesn't have the heat of it. I don't quite get it. There is, I won't get too specific, but they do obviously they tie this with Shazam.
Yeah.
They also tie it with Suicide Squad. And,
oh my God.
And you bet, at the end, they do tie it with Justice League.
Of course.
So,
of course.
They are definitely trying to franchise this thing out. The film,
is he a bad guy, Dad? Does he he realize that he's a good guy?
Let me ask you this: did you see the what was the Avengers one? Captain Marvel Civil War. So basically, did all the good guys kind of fight each other at first, and then realize after they finish kind of trying to kill each other, hey, maybe we should band together for a common good, but we're still gonna settle this later.
Yeah, no, for sure. We'll finish this. Yeah. In private later.
Didn't they already do that in Civil War? Where like, I wonder what it'd be like to have Spider-Man versus Iron Man, or I wonder what. So we get all the
Underoos.
And I don't think anyone's really trying to kill each other. It's always that if you had enough, if you had it's like,
yeah, we done here. It's like, what is happening?
I just I don't know. It looks fine. I guess if you like a CGI filled film, I've seen much worse effects before. The effects are very palpable and believable, and no one.
I haven't seen it yet, but the trailer for the new Ant-Man movie just came out, and I heard it looks horrible. I heard that CGI looks terrible.
It does. Well, the problem is, I think you have a problem when you put something completely in another universe, like when it's in space, or in this case, the quantum world or whatever, because it just looks like a big studio green screen behind you.
Of course.
At least there's a lot of obvious city shots where you can tell the plates are at least cities. Yeah. And they're going through, buildings, and it's not like, oh, they're in another purple-green universe, and you're like, well, that just that looks like Paul Rudd hanging from a string, going, ooh,
right, ooh, yeah.
Through. Listen, people, not my cup of tea. I'm gonna give it a D+. That's right. The acting's not, for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he knows how to raise his eyebrow and.
I can't do it. I can't do that whenever it is.
Yeah, the little Dwayne Rock looking, whatever. It will not be nominated for an Academy Award.
Really? That's disappointing.
No.
It's it's no Banshees of Inisherin, I'll tell you that.
It's no Banshees of Inisherin.
Snowboarder.
When Jackson was visiting earlier this week, I pulled out Variety Magazine's list of 50 films that they are predicting are in the running for Best Oscar. And I believe I think now that they've expanded the category, up to 10 films can be nominated. So there's no real science behind this. There are some films that may sneak in. Some of these films may not, but Variety kind of called these are the 10 front runners for what we think just on buzz and early screenings and, just clout of the filmmakers will get nominated for Oscars. Yeah. And I wanted to run these by Jackson again. We talked about it a little bit, but I'm just going to go over the top 10. I don't want to go over and just
we'll just give quick thoughts and see if we think it'll be.
Yeah,
cool.
Quick thoughts.
For sure.
We're going to see this, number 10, they say could sneak in there. We're actually going to go see this as a family over Thanksgiving. Great buzz on Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. Are you excited
I was telling you,
it?
my roommate from last year saw it, and he loved the first one, but he said that this one was actually better than the first one. And I think we all really liked the first one, too.
I enjoyed the first one, and the trailer for this looks like a lot of fun, and it looks.
I have not seen the trailer. I'm kind of avoiding it. I want to go in because it's a murder mystery. I kind of want to just go in and experience it.
I will tell you this: trailers, as you get closer and closer, tend to show more and more. I didn't walk away. I think I have a clue who the celebrity who gets murdered is.
Yeah.
But besides that, I don't think I really got no real spoilers from the. I didn't feel like any jokes were spoiled. Maybe one moment with Dave Bautista, him in a thong or something that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see it. I'm also surprised to see it's in the top 10, which
me too.
Leads me to believe maybe your friend is onto something, and maybe this
for sure.
is. What do you think about that, just in general? I mean, we're going to get to what you know is coming, but more popular films are starting to get nominated. Back in the day, and don't get me wrong, films like Parasite and Moonlight are still winning, but we're starting to see more crowd-friendly films. Hollywood's having a hard. People aren't watching the Oscars if they're like, "Hey, 80 million people went and saw The Batman. Why is that not getting? That obviously was the most popular film of the year. How is it not the best film of the year?"
Right. That's a good point. I think that I don't really care how many people want to go see a movie. If it's good, I think it's worthy of a nomination. I'm okay with the the Moonlights and the Parasites and the Everything Everywhere is getting nominated, but I'm also okay with, if Glass Onion ends up being a fantastic movie, sure, go ahead, Right. If The Batman, I love The Batman, one of my favorite movies of the year. I think that could be worthy of a nomination too, at least for cinematography and hopefully for maybe an acting role, maybe even for Paul Dano or for Robert Pattinson or for, is it Halle Berry? No, not Halle Berry. Who played Catwoman?
Was it the Avatar girl? Avatar girl? No.
No, it wasn't it?
No, not the Avatar.
Why am I blanking on her?
Kravitz, Zoe Kravitz.
Yes, Zoe Kravitz. Thank
Lenny
you.
Kravitz's daughter. Yeah. Number 9 on Variety's list of the top 10 films they predict will be nominated for Best Film is a movie I have heard nothing about. It's called Living. It's a British film.
Oh yeah.
With Bill Nye, who I actually like, and I believe it's a remake of Akira Kurosawa's Ikaru.
Really? That's bold.
Yeah,
I have not seen Ikaru, but I've heard fantastic things about it. I mean, the cast is pretty stacked. I'm looking here now.
Yeah.
Bill Nye. Oh, it's the other Bill Nye, not the science guy, the actor.
No, not the science
guy.
That's funny.
Yeah. I was like, maybe he's in that.
Yeah. No. Who I love. He's from Love Actually. You'd know him if you saw him. But it's this tale of a man who finds out he's dying and then goes on a kind of a pilgrimage and befriends a young lady. But I don't know. The fact that they're touching a Kurosawa movie. That's a big move, but apparently word of mouth is pretty good.
Have there been many? I mean, I know there was an American remake of Seven Samurai, correct?
Yeah, The Magnificent Seven.
And how was that?
It was classic. Yeah, classic Western. It became a Western. It was a samurai movie with Kurosawa. It became a Western movie with guns.
Right.
No, considered one of the best Westerns of all time. Maybe you should put that on your list.
Maybe I should.
Number 8 is a movie that Jackson and I both loved. Just reviewed it recently. Triangle of Sadness.
Yes.
It's a movie. We both had problems with the ending, but I have to be honest with you. It's a movie that's still sticking with me.
100%.
I'm still thinking about it, and I love the first act with the couple. I love the middle part with the boat, and there was some funny stuff on the island at the end. I would not be upset at all if Triangle of Sadness was in there, at least right now. Thoughts?
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that movie. One of my friends just went to go see it the other day too, and he loved it as well. I've yet to hear of anyone going to see it and not liking it. It just was a lot of fun. I just laughed my ass off.
Yeah.
I was looking at I went to their Instagram page. They have an Instagram page for the movie because they were doing promo and stuff. Just to look through it, and they did a bit where the guy who was doing the interviews at the beginning was on the streets of Sweden at a fashion show, asking people about the new what's the director's name? Usland?
Yeah, Usland.
He'd go, are you guys excited for the new Usland merchandise on sale now? Or you asking them like it was a fashion designer. And of course, all these pretentious fashion people are like, oh, very excited to see. I'd really like to see what he's going to do this year,
Yeah.
He'll be like, oh, are you going to buy his new Speedo line? I've heard it's really great. Just asking them all this stuff that's not even real. I just thought that was so funny.
I would have loved an entire movie about the whole fashion world that those two were in,
Oh, me too, because that was so funny.
Yeah.
You need to relax your triangle of sadness. That's such a good line.
Number 7 is a movie that I don't know why I'm not avoiding it. I just haven't, for some reason, the stars haven't aligned. Number 7, The Woman King. That's the Viola Davis movie about the female warriors in Africa.
Yeah,
it looks good. I
think it doesn't look good.
Yeah,
I wasn't that excited.
Yeah.
But everyone's saying it's that great. I might have to. I feel like that's gonna be one where it's like you're gonna get a screener for it, and I'll probably watch it then. I don't know if I'm rushing to theaters to see it, but But yeah.
I try, especially for the biggest films, I try to see them on the big screen.
Yeah.
Because there are times when a movie will hit you more, especially an epic film like that just plays better than it does on a laptop.
That's a good point.
I am going to try to. I'm going to get out and see The Woman King, I promise. Number 6 on the list, and you'll probably be mad it's this low, but I think it's also probably a lock. But Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
If
I would say
that doesn't get nominated, I will walk to the Oscars and light myself on fire in protest.
I think it will, but I think the only reason it's number 6 on the list is because it's maybe a little out of sight, out of mind kind of thing, and that's you worry about sometimes when a movie comes out too early in the year.
That's true.
You forget about it. Like even us, we were like, was the Batman this year?
Yeah,
like,
no,
yeah,
exactly.
I guess it was.
They should do some re-releases maybe. Put it back in theaters.
If for some reason on the day the Oscars are announced, if Everything Everywhere All at Once is not nominated for Best Picture, Jackson and I will be going live with a real-time reaction from Jackson smashing his head into a
It's
wall.
bullshit! It's all bullshit!
I don't think
no one good wins in this life.
I don't think you would ever watch the Academy Awards again if it didn't get nominated.
I was pissed enough when Worst Person in the World didn't even win screenplay. Because that was ridiculous. That was the best written film of the decade.
Yeah. Go see that, people. Worst Person in the World. It was my choice. Second best film of the year, and Jackson's.
You know what? I've added it. I've put it higher up on my list of things to watch. Is those other 2 movies that he did?
Yeah.
Reprise and Oslo 31 or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, but brace yourself. I heard they're not as good.
That's fine.
I think it'll be interesting to see. I've just heard they're not as good as that.
No, for sure.
Number 5 on the list. You heard it. You heard it here first. Jackson said he's got absolutely no problem with a big, fun popcorn movie getting nominated. Their pick for number 5 is Top Gun Maverick for best.
I have a problem with that. I have a problem with
that. No, don't backpedal.
It doesn't deserve it.
I've got no problem. If 80 million
if it's a
people
good
loved
movie,
it,
and Top Gun Maverick wasn't a good movie. It wasn't a good movie. I think it's the most overrated thing to come out in my lifetime. God, I just don't get it. I just don't get it at all.
I don't know. I don't want to spoil. I don't want to do spoiler alerts. We know I enjoyed the movie much more than you did. Will it be in my top 10?
It better not. Don't you do it.
I don't know. I haven't seen everything yet. I have to wait and see everything.
Okay, we're skating on thin ice here.
That's a little teaser for our January countdowns. Number 4 is a movie that's very much under the radar. A few people who have heard of it told me that it's a movie that will probably gain steam as it gets a little more press. It's number 4 on their list. It's called Women Talking. It's from director Sarah Polley.
Also heard of this. I can't remember. Let me look this up
Sarah
real quick.
Polley is an actress. She was in a lot of kind of art house films, including Go. She was great in Go back in the day. I love that film. But she's turned to directing more in recent years. She did a movie called Away From Her. This is a movie. I'm not sure she wrote. I don't think she wrote it. I think she just directed it. But interesting story about women who were living in kind of a religious, secular, confined world. Kind of think Amish, or the Mormons in Utah. The very devout ones where women are kind of looked as second-class citizens or even property, and them kind of finding themselves. So it looks dark. Frances McDormand is the only actress in it that I recognize, and I think she's only in a small bit of it. But I'm already getting notices for screenings of that. I don't know if I'm excited to see it, but
yeah, check it out.
I got to think if Variety puts it at number 4 on the list.
It's worth seeing.
But here's the one I'm very curious. Do you have a problem with their number 3 pick in there? Tar, they think, is number 3.
I know it's Oscar bait. I came away going, this is what they want. I think that movie deserves to be nominated for best
actress.
Yes, best actress, best lead actress. That's it. I don't think it needs. I think it was so. There was so much movie and so little was said. I feel like I walked away just feeling like that was what we wanted to talk about. Like in the middle of, because we're just living this right now, Not to give anything away, but I'm just like, do I really need another movie about cancel culture?
Yeah.
Will I watch Kanye West ruin his career every day of my life?
Yeah.
It's
that's now people will say it's timely. It's
timely, but it's the same thing as if I made a COVID movie during COVID. I'm like, I don't need that right now,
Right.
And it felt like the journey to get there was building up just for me to go, oh, it's cancel culture. That's the bit, is like cancel culture. So, whatever.
I don't think I would be upset if it took one of. I can't.
I wouldn't be upset, but I would be pretty pissed if it won.
You know what? I'll only be upset if I feel there's a movie that didn't get nominated.
That's a great point.
Far superior. Like if I go, how did you not put that in there? Number 2, Variety predicts Oscar nominations. I'd put it at number 1 and right now, only because I haven't seen their number 1 pick yet. But it's The Banshees of Inisherin. It's like I said, it's going to be one of those films where people go, I don't get it. It's just Irish people and blah, blah, blah. It is so good.
I always hate when people do that thing where they're like, what, you like the movie? It's just about 2 guys in a pub. It's like,
right.
No, come on. You have to be dumb or blind to not, get the movies sometimes have deeper meanings.
And when they were friends and then they weren't friends and then I'm supposed to care. And oh my God.
No, seriously.
It should come as no surprise to any movie fans that Variety says the absolute one lock for best movie of the year is the upcoming Steven Spielberg movie, The Fabelmans, the semi-autobiographical story.
I could not be more excited for this.
Yeah, well, I think, Jackson, you should be whenever you see a movie about a young filmmaker and his passion growing up. Michelle Williams and Paul Dano make it even much more attractive. You got a very
favorite actors.
You got a very eclectic cast too, with Seth Rogen in there and Judd Hirsch, and a little bit of a teaser. We will have, at least me, I don't know about Jackson, but we will have a sneak preview review of The Fabelmans next week. It doesn't open until November 11th. But I, and hopefully young Jackson, we'll see, are going to go to a screening next week where a gentleman named Steven Spielberg will be speaking afterwards.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jackson can make that, but he's got...
When is that? When is that again?
Monday night. Next Monday. So...
you know what? I'm going to send because I have directing during that time.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I maybe send him an email going like, listen, you're a great teacher... But not having a chance to have Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, but don't miss a class just for that. I mean, I'll tell you all about it, and then you can.
That's what I, I'll see. I'll send some emails and we'll see.
We'll see. And remember, I got invitations to 1 million screenings, so we can,
but not all of them have one of the greatest directors of all time speaking afterwards, you know.
All valid points. Hey, Jackson, a couple movies that just missed their predictions, but's right on the bubble. I just thought I'd throw them out there to you. Number 11, Wakanda Forever. Number 12, Avatar.
No.
Got Elvis at number 14.
Definitely not.
Yeah. What about Black Panther? Right there, though. People are saying Wakanda Wherever I believe Black Panther was nominated the year it came out.
It was.
So
I'm just so...
You're burnt.
Marveled out. I'm burnt.
I know. I hear you.
I'll see it. I'll see it. I'm very curious to see how they handle the whole, you know, Chadwick Boseman situation and all that, but...
Yeah. A couple interesting ones on the list. Babylon came in at 20. That's a dark horse now. It's not even out yet, but again, it's losing
I don't
steam.
seem that excited for it. It's always, you know what? I think that when filmmakers kind of have a tendency to do like, oh, this is going to be my industry movie, where I talk about the industry. And that can go one of two ways. You either have something like The Fabelmans, where it ends up being like more like heartwarming, like, oh, like young guy just wanted to make it in the business. Or you have like the Babylons, where it's like, you know, where this is how it was like back then when they were all living crazy in Hollywood and, you know, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or things like that. And I just feel like I've seen it. I've seen that before. You know, I've seen that movie, and I don't think I want to. I'll see it again, but I'm not nearly as excited as I was for a La La Land or Whiplash.
Yeah. A couple other ones on the list that just stood out to me. I know you're excited to see The Whale, the Brendan Fraser.
God, I could not be more excited for that. Yeah.
It's number 24 on the list, so it's pretty far down there. I think that's going to be a performance film. Till
do you know when that opens?
Dropped. I want to say Thanksgiving weekend. Limited cities, and then wider Christmas. Sure. Till is losing some steam. That's down to 27. They had a big push on that. A Man Called Otto, which is Tom Hanks' new movie, 35th. So,
what about the Bardo? What's that looking like?
Bardo's number 17, so it's still a bit of a dark horse. I think it's that's the Inarritu. I always forget Alejandro
Inarritu. I think.
Movie
what do you? Just because I'm thinking about it now, what do you think about Aronofsky? Are you a fan of his? What do you think about his stuff?
Some of it gets a little too weird. I didn't care for what's the one with his wife, Rachel Weisz. The it was about the underworld.
The Fountain.
The Fountain. Yeah, Hugh Jackman. That got really obscure and weird with the different time periods.
Yeah.
I look. I'm never going to watch Requiem for a Dream again. But it's just too heavy. It's like
it's
you know
such a hard watch.
I'm probably never going to watch Schindler's List again. Schindler's List is one of the best films ever made, but I can't put my
it's difficult.
It's difficult to do. Requiem for I never saw Pi. I think that was the one that kind of put Aronofsky on the map.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. I haven't seen his two biggest ones yet. Mother with Jennifer
Mother,
Lawrence.
I'm not. I heard Mother was horrible.
Black Swan, I still haven't seen.
Black Swan's 50-50 for me.
I need to see that.
It's interesting.
It's got Vincent Cassel in it. You need to see that.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where it's real interesting, and then it gets weird. You're like, is it real life? Is it not real life? I'm like,
right,
yeah. So we got a little bit of work to do here at the PGN podcast. Next week,
I was gonna say
So here's what's happening next week. If there's one movie we know we're talking about next week, it's Troll 2. Yeah. So thanks to Danny, my co-star from Dog with the Blog, we are going to watch. Which, God, I can only think has to be a running time of an hour and 15 minutes, maybe.
You want to check right now?
What's the running? What was Troll 2?
Give me a guess. Give me a guess first before I check.
I'm going to say 1 hour, 22 minutes. 1:22. And that includes credits. That includes the scroll.
That's coming in at an hour 35.
Oh, okay. Well, hour and a half. That's 5 minutes of credits and then 1:30. We will see Troll 2. Here's all the films that we are shooting for next week, or some, or whatever can.
I promise you, I will see Banshees of Inisherin before next week. So that's on my plate because I want to see that.
We will definitely have to talk Banshees a little bit more. We could be a little more specific without spoiling anything. I already told you that I myself or both of us will have a sneak peek preview or review. This is a what's the word I'm looking for? Not an advanced review, but a early review. An early review.
So if that's happening on Monday, do you want to record on Tuesday then? So this will come out a little later.
So we might push it a day or two. That might be a good call. So we don't look for us maybe next Wednesday. The Fabelmans. So we'll have that review up and out before the movie actually opens. We may also, I might also have a early review of She Said. That's the Carey Mulligan Me Too movement. That's I think number 15 on Variety's of best films of the year. Also, new on Netflix this week. Maybe Jackson and I will try to curl up with The Good Nurse. They're pushing for Oscars really hard for Eddie Redmayne and both Jessica Chastain. That's the movie about the nurse who may or may not be killing patients in hospitals. That's just released on Netflix. We got to keep an eye on those streamers as well.
Yeah.
Also, a new movie called The Estate with Toni Collette, Anna Faris, and David Duchovny. That's really the only big movie opening in theaters. It's kind of the slow before the award storm, before Avatar and all the other ones hit. Also, Armageddon Time is opening next week, a movie that looked like it was pushing for Oscars, and I think still is, but might be losing a little steam. That's with Anthony Hopkins, Anne Hathaway, and Jeremy Strong, about the two boys in New York in the 50s. So we're going to try to get to all. Here's what you need to know, people. No matter what, you're going to get a review of a 1990 horror sequel that wasn't even actually a sequel, called Troll 2.
Open parentheses, goblins, close parentheses.
Goblin. All the rest, that's just icing. You've got the cake.
Yeah.
That's your, I mean, I don't think you're going to want anything more than that. I mean, why else would you tune in?
That's why they're here.
Yeah, that's why they're here. So you're not going out tonight? Are you seeing any movies over this holiday weekend, or you got to wait until later in the week? Do you have any time?
I think I'm seeing a movie. Just like probably see some campy horror thing tomorrow with my girlfriend, just for the fun of the Halloween spirit, I guess. But that's it.
Might I recommend Troll?
Troll 2.
Troll.
I don't know if I can do that to her after Border. I don't know if I can do a Border into Troll 2 segue. You know.
I need to go see The Woman King. Should I see Pray for the Devil? That Exorcist one. That's the other film that opened this weekend. You know, the girl. I don't know. It's a buck. It's you know what the running time is? $1.30.
What? $1.30.
That's my saying. That's our saying. Like, hey man, did you see that film? $1.30. What was it? It was $1.30.
It's $1.30.
They snuck it
I like
in.
that. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I think that from now on, it's like, hey man, did you see that film? How was it? Yeah, you know, $1.30.
$1.30.
I was
over.
It was in and out.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough time to hate it as much as I should have.
No, yeah.
Although, to be honest with you, we've sat through a few hour and 30-minute movies that you're like,
absolutely.
Yeah. Please follow my son Jackson at Jackson N. Burns on Twitter, or should I say Elon Musk's social network.
Oh, jeez. Don't even bring
Don't
that
get
up
you
right
started
now.
on that.
Don't even get me started on that. Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah. Jackson N is in Nancy Burns. That's on Twitter and on the TikTok. You can follow me at Regan.Burns on Instagram. And please follow the PGM podcast on Instagram and on YouTube. Like and subscribe to that channel and put lots of comments. We're always still looking for brand new content. Next time, it's December. We've got Trolls 2, and then the week after
December?
It was in it. Or sorry, November. Yeah,
November. I was like, yeah, we're skipping Thanksgiving.
November. And the week after that, it will be the return of Father-Son Trivia. So look forward to that.
Let's go. Okay, all right.
You got 2 weeks. 2 weeks to prep 3 great questions, Jackson, for that one.
Perfect.
Anything else to tell the fine folks, Jackson? Anything you want to plug? Any movie you're working on? Should we go to a website and watch something? Is there a friend who's put something up that needs likes or looks or?
You know, everyone go treat yourself and go rewatch Everything Ever All at Once again. That's all I'm gonna say.
How many screenings? How many times have you seen it?
6. Soon to be 7, hopefully.
What do you mean set? Why? Is there something? Are they doing another screening?
Just
where
about time.
It's
just about time. Yeah.
First off, I'm going to get the DVD, right?
And yes, I do know. I am very excited for that.
I will FedEx that to your dorm room ASAP. Hey, everybody, thanks for listening or watching. Until next time, we'll see you at the movies.
We'll see you at the movies. That was good. All right.
Yeah,
love you, Dad.
Bye.
Bye.